Here's a little car washing tip for y'all. Florida, we got these things called love bugs. Their blood is very acidic. It will eat the paint if you don't wash it off the car. So what you do to get, you can do this with any bug splatter. Just get a very wet dryer sheet and go over these bug guts very lightly. You don't want to scratch the car, but you want to go over it lightly. And it will come right out. But like I said, do not go too hard and don't do circle motions. Just go back and forth, up and down, because you will put swirls in the paint, especially if you do go too hard. So get all that gunk off. So just get in there, go lightly, and it'll take that stuff right out with minimal effort. Because I guess all the detergents and dyes that are in here. But if you're gonna do this, I recommend waxing whatever parts you use this on as well. Oh, and I would like to thank the person. There's somebody that is subscribed to me. Every time, soon as I post a video, there's always a thumbs down. And that means that person is subscribed to me. They're having to watch the video. They have that bell ring. And they got the lookout for me. So I don't know if I made this person mad online or something. But, you know, I just like to appreciate them for the clout they're giving me. Hey, I mean, it's your choice. Thumbs down. It's not hurting my feelings. It's actually embracing and makes me feel good that someone has actually got the bell on and waiting for my next video. Just to thumbs down it. Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about just what inspired me to start doing YouTube. So why did I start a YouTube? Well, mostly I was watching videos on how to fix pretty much anything vehicle related, even things around the house, things that I had no knowledge on. And YouTube just seemed like a great source for information because not only do people talk about it, you can also see exactly how it's done and think doing things and seeing things visually really does help, so you get a better understanding, especially when there's really good descriptive detail on how to do what needs to be done. And the more I learn from YouTube, I'm like, man, it's pretty good information. It'd be cool to pass that along so somebody else can learn off of you as well. Maybe you put your own variations on whatever it is that you're doing. I used to have it was a Kawasaki. It was a crotch rocket. It burned spark plugs a lot. So I did ride it a little hard. I mean, it was a sport bike. And I didn't want to take it to a mechanic. It was just too expensive to figure out what was going on with it. So I must have replaced spark plugs 3 times in that bike in the 3 years that I've had it. I rode that bike a lot. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, I also learned exactly like how to change the oil on the bike too. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to make videos on what I was doing. And just maybe I can put that information out there and inspire somebody to maybe want to do the same thing. And I thought it was kind of foolish to have all these tools laying around and not use them and then go take it to a mechanic and have somebody else do it and have them, you know, take care of everything for you by paying them, which just to me didn't make sense, especially with all resources that I did have available. What is my goal on YouTube? I'm just hoping that I can inspire other people. And maybe someone will take the knowledge that I am putting out there and learn from it and apply it. And I think it would be cool to have someone or a group of people or whoever it is that watches my videos and takes it in stride to be able to just apply all the information, put it to work, that someone can learn off of you. I think it feels really good to be able to inspire somebody, or like I said, a group of people, anyone that is just willing to learn. Last thing that I want to talk about is what inspires me. Pretty much just the willingness to want to learn to do a job. And if I don't understand something, YouTube is just a great resource for seeing what it is that you want to look into or what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. What is your goal? There is so much content on here that actually it is a little competitive if you're trying to put out videos and stuff like that and you want to get noticed. But, you know, you just got to stick with it. And also just the people that I have met through like the online tool community. There's a lot of great people on there. They share their stories, they share what kind of tools they use, they make videos on how to do certain jobs or something that you might not understand. And I think everyone like starting to put their heart into it really when you watch a lot of the content and how descriptive they are of what they're doing. And also it feels good. Just you get that self accomplishment when you do a job yourself instead of taking your problems elsewhere. Like you've solved a problem, you had a problem, you solved it yourself. You took the time to sit down, maybe watch someone's video, learn how to handle the situation yourself. And it just feels really good to do that. And I think it feels really good to just pass the information along myself. I have learned so much from other people that it's like, why stop there? Why just learn this knowledge, apply it, and then just stop there? I feel it actually feels really good to make videos and edit them, put them up on YouTube for people to watch. But I don't only just do car videos. Like you see, I take a lot of trips to Walt Disney World, and I try to film that so other people can enjoy what I'm experiencing, because a lot of people don't have the time, to make it down to the locations to enjoy those great things. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on a few things before I get this video started today. So hang out with me and maybe you can learn a few things. So it's 7:40 in the morning, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bleed my brake system, put new fluid in, bleed the old fluid out. It is God, it's 7:40 in the morning in Florida here. You see everything. I hate these damn bugs, these love bugs. These things are, their blood is acidic, so when you hit it with your car all over the highway, whatever, when they splatter on your car, the blood just it eats the paint. It's horrible. So you got to constantly wash your car and wax it. And these things come out like twice a year. I got to wash and wax this thing anyway. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I have to jack the car up, and let's get this going. All right, I wear glasses. My eyes aren't the greatest, which I just think sucks. But these are my daily drivers. These are my daily glasses. I wear them every day. And these are my older ones, the pair I had before I got these. So I use these when I'm working on the car, just in case I get too close to something, hit my face. And if I accidentally scratch these or bend them, oh well. So I just, it's always good to have a couple pairs of glasses, in my opinion, if you do wear glasses. So that way you don't mess up exactly what you wear every day. Because then if you get a scratch in there, it just makes your life horrible. Then you got to go pay extra money to get it fixed. Before you jack your car up, always be sure to chock your wheels. And be sure anytime that you jack the car up, place a jack stand somewhere on the frame itself. Don't do it somewhere on the floor pan, because if the car drops, the jack stand could go through the floorboard. That's a problem you don't want, and your life could depend on it. Don't rely on the jack. Use a jack stand. Okay, so I'm going to start off here. Got my Duo socket set from Gray Pneumatics. They're thin as regular chrome sockets and just as tough as your regular impacts, so you can use them on an impact gun. Don't have to worry about like the chrome shattering off if you're using regular chrome sockets on an impact gun. So these are going to be 19 millimeter. I'm using a Pittsburgh breaker bar here. Paid $10 for the breaker bar. Didn't need something that extreme. And I needed something in 3/8 because I have a Craftsman American made breaker bar, and that thing is a 1/2 inch. And this pneumatic set that I bought is actually all 3/8, which it's a great set. It goes from 7 to 22 millimeter, no skip sizes. So you're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna break this loose. I'm gonna break the lug nuts loose, and then I'm going to use my little hex impact there from Milwaukee. All right, let's get these off. what I do is I keep all my loose parts there in a little baking tin. Keeps them organized. Keeps you from losing them. Alright, so I'm going to start breathing. Timmy! Alright, I'm going to start bleeding the brakes. So I got a fabricated one-man brake bleeder. Yeah, I use kitchen gloves. I get them from the dollar store, and these things are durable. Judge me, go ahead. Anyway, I used an old peanut jar. So I drilled a hole in the top that was the same outer diameter as these hose right here, and then I put a little air hose there, little vent tube. And so I got the hose connected into the bleeder nipple itself, and then you're going to use a 10mm wrench to be able to get that out or to uncap this so we can start putting brake fluid in and taking brake fluid out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure the reservoir is topped off. You do not want any air in the system because then it just defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do. So you want no air in the system so that way your brakes will function perfectly. Got the reservoir topped off all the way to the top. So even while you're pumping it, you still want to check that reservoir to make sure that it doesn't drop levels in the brake fluid. So that way you don't get air in the system and have to re-bleed the whole system. And make sure there is some brake fluid still in the jar or whatever container that you're using, so that way air can't back up into the system as well. So it looks like my tube there is a little protruding out of the top of the fluid, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. All right, you can see the old fluids coming out. I'm not sure what type of brake fluid this person used. I'm guessing it's like some German brand blue brake fluid. Is like meant for racing. So I'm gonna just try to flush all this stuff out, make sure all the air is out of the system as well, get that nice tight feel so you can come, get better stops and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna keep doing this until I go through 2 full bottles of some brake fluid. So I got that Prestone .4 instead of the regular .3. It's a little better than .3. It has a higher boiling point, and the thing is, you always want to make sure, like, even when you're not using it, cap it off and try to use all of it within the same day that you open it, because it is hygroscopic. It will suck moisture right out of the air, and I live in Florida. This place is humid. It's nasty out here. I'm already sweating. It's probably like 8 o'clock by now, probably a little 8:30. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep doing this until I see hopefully no more blue fluid coming out of there. And I'm going to do this on all 4 tires. Well, the other 3, because I replaced a brake hose, which looks like I might have to do it on this side as well. That might be leaking, so I might have to do that. I should have just got it and then did it done today, but no big deal. You can see there's air backing out of the system, and you want to keep that hose elevated so nothing will go back into the bleeder itself. All right, let's give this thing a few more pumps and make sure you start the car so everything will work correctly. Watch those air bubbles come out. All right, get that nice and tight. Okay, that is 1/4 panel done. So, didn't make a mess. Happy about that. But I always use a rubber mat. In my previous videos, I talk about how I stole this out of my old Santa Fe. Didn't really steal it if I paid for it, right? So I think it's a great mat. It's got little barriers on there. So that way if fluid spills, like if you spill a lot of fluid, you have a way to keep all that from hitting the concrete and soaking in, especially like brake fluid, oil, stuff like that. You don't really want that on your pavement. All right, I'm all finished here. Got all the brakes bled. I even bled the clutch master cylinder in the car as well, just for good measure. Keep all the fluids clean. Just don't have any issues. She's running good. She's running great. Brakes are working great. Clutch is working great.
and went ahead and gave her a wash. With all the love bugs here in Florida, you really don't want that blood on your paint because it will eat the paint, so you need to get it off as soon as possible. Otherwise that paint just comes right off. You get the end, you'll see the blood splatters like permanently in there. So I hope whoever watched this video has benefited from it, learned something. If you got the tools, apply the information yourself. Go ahead and get out there and get it done. Save yourself some money. Yeah, you know, you buy the tools, you do it yourself, and then you have a collection of tools that would have been money spent towards a mechanic that you wouldn't be able to spend on tools. Tools are a great thing to have, and you can. It's really enjoyable working on cars, and you get that satisfaction of finishing it yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you got the time. I'd appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and this is Chemical Spore out.